Hey there, Ryan with you again, and along with me today is Caitlin, and today we're going to teach you a few different ways to use the external flash that can be added to many DSLR and mirrorless cameras. An external flash is one of the easiest ways to give you lots of versatility when it comes to the look of your photos. It's not just a more powerful flash than the internal one, it also swivels, bounces, and zooms for more creativity. First, let's compare the look of the internal flash to the external. They're about the same in terms of look. There's not a huge difference. They're harsh, unflattering, and have a harsh shadow that shows up on the background. The external flash is more powerful, but that's not needed in this situation when I'm so close to my subject. So, what can this do that the internal one can't? Well, first, the external flash has a zoom capability. Normally, the camera will zoom the flash head to match how far you've zoomed your lens in so that the spread, or the area that it covers, is appropriate. This prevents power from being wasted. But you can override the zoom yourself for some different effects, making the beam of light wider or narrower. I'm going to shoot this photo at a wide angle, but I'm going to set the zoom on the flash to 85 millimeters. As you can see, we now get more of a spotlight effect, where the subject is illuminated by a very narrow beam of light coming out of the flash, and the rest of the scene is left dark. Also, because this flash is mounted up so much higher than the internal flash, red eyes are less of a problem unless you're very far away from your subject. Secondly, the head of the flash is able to tilt and swivel, meaning you don't need to point it directly at your subject. If you have a light-colored wall or a ceiling around, you can point the flash at these so that the light bounces off it first before it hits the subject. This makes the light much softer and is much more flattering for people. There's no harsh shadows and there's no red eye, because instead of a direct beam of light that's going to reflect back into the lens, you've got a gigantic soft surface instead. The bigger the light source, the softer it is. So let's look at ceiling bounce. I'm going to angle the head straight up so that the light hits the ceiling first and then falls down onto the subject. You can see the photo looks way better than what we started with. It's much more flattering, but if I move in too close and take a photo, Caitlin's eyes start to get lost in the shadows a bit as the light is coming straight down from above. Remember to keep your distance from your subject, especially if you're working with low ceilings. Now, let's look at a wall bounce. I like this method the best. You just turn the flash head so that it's pointing completely behind you at a wall. This gives similar lighting to the ceiling method, but without the shadow problem that I mentioned earlier. You can also point the flash diagonally behind you, angled so that it hits both the wall and the ceiling at the same time. It's very important to keep in mind that the bounce light will pick up the color of the wall or the ceiling, so it's always best to use white walls and ceilings whenever possible. Darker toned walls won't reflect very much light at all. Ceilings and walls that are very far away can also pose a problem, as the light falls off very quickly and may not even reach your subject. So there's just a few ways that you can use your external flash to get better photos. If you want to try your own shots like this, we'd love to see them. Post them on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/blacks, and keep your eye on blacks.ca for new videos.